All right, episode 5, The Host. So we got Kelly lying here in the opening about how Ash was talking in tongues and trying to kill her and all this bullshit. He was trying to kill her, but not in the way she was saying. We find that she's still possessed, obviously. And so then Ash is gagged. Even when Ash can't speak, he's fucking hilarious. Like, even the dialogue, he can barely get through his, restraint, his mouth gag is hilarious. The shit he's saying in the background the whole time she's talking and lying, he's fucking full of shit. Like, it's so perfectly delivered. Bruce Campbell brought his A game so hard to this show. He is fully invested. He is completely Ash again. I know I'm a broken record if you're watching these like back to back, but it really it keeps going on. All right. Then, Pablo goes back to the trailer and there is Kelly in some like loose shirt. We're exposing her bra. Sorry, I'm like fucking having an orgasm here. And she like has a shotgun in her mouth, smoking it. She tries to convince Pablo to come over by trying to seduce him to smoke a shotgun, literally shotgunning pot. And then she goes to put a bullet in, blow his head off. But of course, he's not falling apart because Pablo doesn't want to fuck Kelly. Okay, Pablo wants to be with Kelly. Yes, he would like to have sex with her. Obviously, that's part of being together. But Pablo is falling in love with her, and she tries to, like, it's like the Deadite fucks up because it sees Pablo as a typical mark. Like, oh, if I just put on some sexy ass outfit and I act hot and whatever and I try to seduce him, he's just gonna fall for it. But it reads the situation wrong. It's almost like it's too juvenile in its thought process towards humans that it only sees men as the generality, like as a stereotype of like, I'm just gonna physically come onto him because that's what demons would know, just like, pure sexuality, and that'll get him and win him over. And I know I'm overanalyzing the show in that regard, but I feel like it speaks to Pablo's character in this and his feelings towards Kelly that he doesn't fall for that shit. That he's truly like, I want to be with you. This isn't about fucking you. Yes, I'd love to have sex with you. Of course, you're gorgeous. I'm into you physically, whatever. But he's not falling for it as much. He's not completely immersed in it, like, oh my God, he's not in a huge daze. He's dazed by it because, of course, ultimately she's giving him part of what he wants, but not the whole thing. So he's kind of just in his head about it, being Pablo. He's ditzy and whatnot. But I like that. I like how that scene plays out. And then the thing gets finally fed up because it doesn't know what else to do. It's like, I have fucking tried everything I can to get you to do this with my sexuality. And it's like, that's not what he's after. That's part of what he's after. You're just, you're not going after what he's really looking for. And then, so of course that fails. And then Kelly is brought out and she's tied up. And one of the horrible things about possession in these shows, although a lot of possession shows and movies and whatnot seem to ignore the reality of things. Like, I think that one thing that most possession movies, The Exorcist is guilty of this, one of these where they fail a lot for me and where they could succeed even more, is the damage done to the human body while possessed. So Regan in The Exorcist, she spins her head all the way around. Her neck would be broken, okay? She'd be dead. And there's plenty of things. She shoves a fucking crucifix into her pussy and is just like ramming it and blood is spraying her. She'd have to go to the hospital. Her body would be so fucked up from that. So in this, Kelly is, bashing her head. And if you're playing off of what happens when you're a Deadite, but then her teeth are extended and they're falling out and this and that. And Ash even makes reference to this in the next episode or this episode where he's like, you lost a few teeth, but I think they were just wisdom. So he's suggesting that the teeth that were knocked out of her do remain knocked out of her, and the injury into the back of her head, which she seems to still sustain here, is, an injury that she's going to continue to have, which I like. That's how it should be. It should be whatever injury sustained. So if you're possessed, it would be fucked up if the thing cut off your arm And then when you woke up and you were unpossessed, you didn't have an arm anymore. A lot of these movies, a lot of the times, they'll do things. They'll scratch, they'll fuck their faces up, their eyes, everything will be totally ruined. And then they'll become unpossessed and they have like totally, almost completely normal, healthy bodies again. It just doesn't play. The scary part of it is that not only are they damaging other people out there, but they're actually damaging your physical body. And if you're a loved one who's watching this happen, as Pablo is, and she's smashing her head and whatnot, and he's obviously almost, pretty much in love with this girl, to watch that physical body that she's going to need to survive if she does come back, being thrashed and abused and mutilated, is horrible. It's painful to watch because when she wakes up, even if this thing's gone, she's gonna be bleeding from the head. She might be hemorrhaging. She might fucking die when she wakes up. No. So that was getting to me when I was watching this. I was like, stop hurting her beautiful fucking perfect body. Jesus Christ, you're killing me here. And Pablo goes to sacrifice himself. I mean, I don't know if this is just in an attempt to draw the thing out, and that's what, but it seems genuine. It seems like I will give my life for this girl. And then Ash brings up his little motto, his mantra here, his new motto: shoot first, think never. That is an Ash Williams mantra motto if I've ever heard one. Then the broho dies. Broho dies. Being impaled on this freaking spike in the barn there. Pablo is given this necklace, which seems to be drawn to, or the Necronomicon wants to eat, which we find out later. And Ash is given a new hand. All right, let's move on.